Welcome to Dan ARG YouTube. Apostle Alfred Ujinosa, the man wey dey talk am as e be, dey interview SA on media project to the Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki. For this interview, you go hear so many things wey im talk concerning the project wey Obaseki dey do for Edo State. You go hear the one for Gelegele Seaport. You go hear the one for Osiomo Power. So many other ones wey don put mouth. Try make you watch this video from beginning to the end. Make you for understand the work wey the Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki dey do for Edo State. Make I leave you now with the video.
Yes, my people. Una good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on the location and for the connect with us. Talk am as they be. We thank Baba God for what He dey do for our life, because not only when they put road for where not dey, not only when they talk when they reach. Tell friend truth, this boyfriend. Community where good people for keep quiet, and Baba will become general overseer. What is not good is bad. So we carry waka comot this afternoon. No, so we don't dey waka follow everywhere. We know say time don dey for us to dey give our people the right information about governance in Edo. Remember, if we not get the right information, negative propaganda will continue to dey fly. So our own mission na to say how we fit change the negative narrative about governance in Edo. So this afternoon, by the grace of God, we carry waka come government house. Say too many road dey. We need to break all the protocol to say we must enter government house. We dey hear so many things. Now we come carry waka come the office of the SA on media, Mr. Crusoe Osagie. Make it come chook mouth for so many things where we dey hear, because we need to waka. Then we carry waka come your office this afternoon. Baga, good afternoon, sir.
My brother, I thank you very much. We see all the work when you do. Well done.
Thank you very much, sir. You do well. Don't people want to hear from you again? They want to know your name again.
My name is Crusoe Osagie. I'm the special advisor to Governor Obaseki on media projects.
Wow. Magana, well done.
Thank you.
We dey see the work wey una dey do across the city. We dey see different projects. Now I begin to ask question. Who dey do this thing? Who dey do this thing? You know, say on my own, I dey carry camera. I say me I no go gree. I must make sure say people see wetin Oga dey do. So Oga sir, no vex. So I get so many questions I want to ask you today.
No problem.
The first question wey I want to ask you, sir, concerning this Osiomo line, how una don take position am to take benefit us directly or indirectly for Edo? Because I dey see say the power line, they don dey do street light, the waka, and so many areas still dey wey dey need this light. So I beg, our people want to hear from you, sir.
Okay, well, the Osiomo Power, now I think one of the most strategic moves when this Governor Godwin Obaseki, when he make when he come for first time.
Wow.
You know, say our governor na strategic thinker.
Yes.
Our governor not be average, not be average leader. Far above average, very strategic thinker. This crisis went there for diesel matter today.
Yes.
Today, as I'm talking to you now, diesel is not less than 820 naira anywhere. 820 per liter. This governor, imagine like 6 years ago, don't already see him. Okay, this diesel get accident for front. So how can we prepare ourselves for that kind of crisis? So now this government begin to calculate. He said, look, this depending entirely on BEDC, go cut out, because these BDC people, the way that they do their business, I'm not sure say it will help ordinary people. So this government begin to think. So he now started a conversation with private investors. You know, so this governor now expert in dealing with private investors.
Yes,
because he's an investment banker by training. Come begin talk to them. Eventually secured an agreement, what we call a power purchase agreement with a private investor called Osiomo Power. And the Edo State government brought some, incentives to that investment by way of land, by way of all the regulatory requirements, and then by way of guaranteeing all the power, procurement of all the power that is going to be produced by this Osiomo Power. That helped to mobilize the resources to invest in the power plant. Then the massive power plant was built. As of today, that power plant, the capacity is heading to 100 megawatts.
100 megawatts.
As we talk right now. So that power now start from Olugbo side, they come begin wheel them out of Olugbo with lines. Okay. So all the way to Ring Road. From Ring Road, and now they begin spread out in different parts of the town. As it come from Sapele Road, come straight to Ring Road. This Ring Road come begin move to Bowo, through Akpakpaba side, move to what they call them, Oba Hill, move to Kenwa Road, move to Airport Road, just begin move. You be like hub and spoke, no hub of bicycle.
Yes.
All those spoke when connect to that. Come off like that. So as we talk now, this light when you see so, this light when they say this my office.
Yes.
I will see more power.
Wow.
If you go Sapele Road now, you see all the government offices there now see more power. But you see, government also they test the waters on how to make sure say even ordinary people they get this power.
Now that's how one goes so.
Because large private enterprises now don't they begin to hook up to see more power. As when you talk to Hallmark, that big supermarket for Sapele Road,
don't connect.
You get one place where they do children they play for Junction.
Rain.
You don't get some more power.
Wow.
I don't know whether Market Square. Let's say Market Square said don't get. I'm not so sure about Market Square. Then some churches said don't begin make requests.
Churches,
yes.
Okay.
So a Heritage Assembly is connected to some more power as we talk. Central Baptist Church is connected. You follow me so?
Yeah, they follow me.
So we are now beginning to test the waters and say, okay, how can this be sent to people so that it won't just be government. So ordinary people are beginning to also tap into the museum of power and getting connected. Airport, I say don't be connect them. They are
they connect and they go airport now.
Yes.
Wow.
Our airport here now.
Okay.
They don't go that side now. So a lot of organizations are being connected. EBS has been approved for connection. Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ, Edo Secretariat is connected. That's why they talk. So if you go NUJ right now, go look up the street light there. And some power you see from there. Wow. So the street lights when you see from Benin in the night, now see more power. Go look Secretariat building, you see and see you'll be like in a Canary Wharf for London. Now you did. Now some more power now be all those one you see. So why I talk say this government are one of the most strategic thinkers for Nigeria? Because imagine say that time people they complain our detractors. They complain, no light, no street light. That time the government was planning how to ensure that the power that is used to generate the street light is affordable and sustainable.
Okay.
So assuming say na diesel they use to the power of street light. Where we foresee money 820 naira they buy 1 liter to the power street light for the heart of it. So that's how strategic this governor is. That's how intelligent this governor is. You are looking for intelligent governor, you have one in Edo. He's an extremely intelligent man, he's an extremely strategic man, and he's an extremely somebody when you get people feeling. Human feeling. Yes.
One they eat food for
person when you get human feeling, you think of human being, you say, how can I make life easier for these people? So now the kind governor won't get. And then people have always asked us, well, now they see money, until they do all these things. He is also a very, very, prudent.
They spend anyhow.
He's not a reckless spender. Wow. And he's not a corrupt governor. He's a very, very transparent governor. Wow. That's how the money they come. So, because if anything, the money we get for those states has reduced from what it used to be before.
Yes.
But we have done more than governments did in the past. Why? Because of prudence in spending and because of, reducing to the barest minimum corruption and other malpractice.
Thank you very much, sir. I know say our people, when they gather on a question, Oga Crusoe dey here, when they gather on a question. On that question, one quick answer. What about residential home? I know say people now they ask, like the Ring Road, Baba, what about we, the resident? So how this time one also take reach them?
Now they explain just now. Okay, don't come up from government now.
Okay.
We don't dey test out with supermarkets.
Okay.
The third phase now when you now begin to reticulate out to residents.
Okay.
And don't forget, the Oshomo Power has capacity for 550 megawatts. I repeat, 550. Wow. So it be like say you build house now when the 16 flats.
Wow.
You don't finish only 4 flats out of the 16 flats.
You still remain about 12
when they complete. So what we have finished now is just a small component of the 550
grand
capacity.
Wow. My people, una dey hear so. But una dey gather na question because once we dey get right information, checking, e no go dey. So, Oga, thank you very much. You don explain that one. Our people don hear. Another thing I want to talk about na this College of Agriculture, Igoraki. I carry waka go there. I say, wetin dey happen? Where government for the same money? Abeg, I want make you still throw light on this College of Agriculture, Igoraki, and how the government want to achieve the scope of agriculture to make sure that our people go back to farm. So I don't know, make you let our people know.
That's still part of the strategic thinking when I talk about for this. Governance and leadership must be strategic. Not be say we just do anywhere belle face. And so we call and those days when we play football.
Anywhere belle face.
Or your con, your balloon, the ball, anywhere belle face. Government must be strategic. How do I score the goal? Let me pass it to this person first. Let me go and wait there and wait for the person to pass it to me so I can score the goal. That we call strategic thinking. That still lead to that once we came to this government, the governor and some of us went to pay a visit to that College of Agriculture. We were ashamed of ourselves. It was like a poultry. The children, when they had become so used to dilapidated existence that they even thought it was normal.
Wow.
By the time we got out of that place, governor said to us that even him cannot send in Megad
to that place.
How much more in citizen to that place? Now he talks, say no, we can't. This is not an institution. So he shut it down. It was a dump. It was a shanty. He shut them down. Wow. Went to the drawing board, got eggheads together, organized. What should the curriculum as a 21st century for an agricultural institution that will support agricultural growth and development? What should it be
in the country?
What should the curriculum be? What should the infrastructure be like? Where should it be located? How big should it be? What resources is required to create such an institution? After all this massive rigorous thinking, all our enemies that time, they go, Obaseki, go close all these schools, you know? But we were thinking, we were working, we were planning, and then when he pressed play, boom! Now there we boom man better pass African man. When African man want to do a 5-year project, they will use only 30 minutes they plan. They use the remaining 5 years, they make mistakes.
Use 30 minutes to plan, use 5 years to make mistake.
Okay, correct her. Or raise this fence, or bring her down, or raise this window, or bring her down.
Not fine rich.
Because they're not planned. But when strategic thinkers like Obaseki won't work, if they get 5-year project, they'll use 4 years to plan, or use 1 year to execute.
5 years to plan, 1 year to execute.
So that once he press play like this, boom! So that make you see, say, be like say, I call it that new color, because that's say, grow Instagram.
Yes.
Because a lot of thinking, a lot of analysis, a lot of evaluation, a lot of rendezvous, a lot of meetings have gone into it, and then resources gathered, and then removed. Now, the same thing happened for College of, what they call State College of Nursing.
Okay.
When governor go there, it be like where they keep dead body. I say, nurses, when one come look after people, they don't be this kind of place, they go to train them, no equipment, nothing.
Wow.
As of today, Edo State has perhaps the best nursing institution in Africa.
Yeah.
Perhaps the best in Africa.
Wow.
It is not so big. It is built to accommodate a certain number of students, and every facility required for all those students. So if you go and do nursing for America, you go do nursing for England or for Canada, and you do nursing for Edo State College of Nursing,
the same standard. Wait, I beg. Repeat that word again.
I say, if you go do nursing for Canada, Australia, or United States, or England, or you do in Edo State College of Nursing, it's the same standard. Not the same now. You did there. You don't have to take my words for it. That's what I always say. Like that one politician I talk, you say, verify.
Go and verify.
Say, go and verify. So the guy talk. I like the guy. He said, go and verify. And they tell you now, go and verify. Go Sapele Road. There. Then they say, if they not let you enter, because the place is very structured.
Yeah.
Call me, I'll follow you, I'll give you letter. They'll let you enter, they'll take you enter the labs, the halls, the classrooms, the hostels, the computer rooms, the conference room.
Wow.
You go tired. The cadavers, everything when you go tired. There is no better place to train a nurse in Nigeria than Edo State College of Nursing.
There is no better place in Nigeria than Edo State College
Nursing to train a nurse.
Wow. Any question there before I continue?
No.
Okay, no question. So, my guy, we appreciate the way you did the arranger. Then this Edo job, what is the main aim of Edo job and how you will fit take carry or to benefit the entire Edo people?
So that Edo jobs are just the acronym, the name what they call it, Skills Development Agency.
Skill Development Agency.
Edo State Skills Development Agency. So because before you begin the work, you must get skills.
Okay.
So if you say Edo jobs, one give people work, which skill they want use they do the work. So then they come design them as a skills development agency. So that you will get that agency has the capacity to help you point you in the direction of how you can acquire the skills you need, and then how you can link you to the jobs that that you require those skills yourself. So that then the Edo State Skills Development Agency they've created thousands of jobs, hundreds of thousands of jobs in different sectors.
Me, I don't know
various sectors. Number one, if you notice for Edo State, you see solar. You know they see every roof.
Everywhere na solar now.
You see solar for. You know they ask yourself, say, where the people where they do solar for learn now?
Okay, so now from Edo job,
many of them.
Because
the trainings from Edo State Skills Development Edo jobs, because they have had different trainings. You see different small makeup studio. You know they see all the girls now. You see women, all of them fine. All of them fine. No girl will not fine for Nigeria, for Benin again. No, you go to airport road, do everywhere. You see all of them get their nice shops. If you enter ugly, you come out beautiful.
Enter ugly, come out beautiful. As a result of Edo job.
Because a lot of young women have been trained, men too have been trained in the arts of makeups and designs and so on and so forth, doing your hair and all those things. But then if you notice, most Nigerians now, most Edo people, they only buy imported cloth again.
No.
Most of them, they wear this native and this cloth when they sew locally. Now they ask themselves, say, where they learn. Many of them were trained
from that place.
Are you following me? Then, not to talk of, if you go to the Edo State Production Center, you see,
for Saplero,
you see people they do shoemaking, you see people they do. Many of them were trained in Edo job. So, the jobs, when you say Edo job, they say, government will just say, I beg, one employ 100,000 people. No. Skills are generated, people acquire the skills, and then they hook up to enterprises.
Wow.
And so hundreds of thousands
have been employed through that process. So, my people, question there already.
Now, waiting don't talk on, so
okay. So, sir, if I say the awareness for no job will be too fly like that. So, which modality I don't put in place now to make sure say our people really get more awareness, they really know more about this job?
With the awareness, they don't say no day. My brother, the truth is say day. You know, say, another one bad habit when black person get.
Okay.
Black person don't they seek information. Unfortunately, one and all better, the black person too. Now one of our problems is that we don't seek information. We wait for information to come and land in our laps. So you see that adverts are done on TV and radio. You see that adverts are posted on social media, but people will still say they're not here. Why? Because they are not looking out for information. They are not trying to get information that can better their life. In other countries of the world, especially in developed countries, people seek out information. You know, when you, if you are, for example, a journalist, you want to be in fora, in different places where the information around journalism is there. You know, so it's not like publicity is not a day. It's just that people are not paying attention. They're not seeking information. So I want to use the opportunity to tell the people. So you need to seek information. Be on social media groups. Listen to radio. Maybe some people not hear. They're not listen to news. They don't listen to news.
That's how we get our phone now.
So even with the phone, they'll use it until they play music.
They do TikTok
and all those big musicians. And they view pictures, they only listen to news, they only read news, they only check what's in the happen.
Well, my people, Billy Joe they treat me as the social media they explain so many things and don't be happy for here. On that question there, I want to ask you because this one they bother a lot of us since we don't they ask question now concerning this modular refinery.
Yes.
And this for the fight, so people say never they exist until some of us come carry our own waka, go so say, this thing really big. So we want to really know the benefit of this modular refinery to the do people. How we want to benefit from this modular refinery, or have been at 3D or in a still dream. We don't know. I better tell our people.
Well, the modular refinery, as I'm talking to you right now, is complete. That project is complete. It's full. If you go there, go fly your drone, you will see.
But I know if you fly drone, if I don't get permission now.
We can link you to the people when they manage them, so that they will allow
you. Say, link us to one share.
So you see, it's full, it's complete. The challenge that they are having is accessing crude.
Accessing crude
oil. Because, you know, in Nigeria, there's a lot of politics. There's a lot of politics. So, and you know, so they've not been able to fine tune the process by which they're going to get crude. Many people, when they set up modular, many of them don't already they get mining leases for marginal fields, whatever they do their own, generate their own. I'm not sure, say, they get the oil well attached to that refinery. So they have to go to NNPC or all the agencies of the federal government responsible for getting crude oil to apply and get supply of crude to the process. I think that's where the challenge is.
Now the challenge is that, hello people, now here all of us will need to cry out to make federal government allow crude oil go our refinery. Because if crude oil come there now, the price of gas will drop. The gas of petrol will drop. So we get more work. So that's the reason why every one of us need to join the government to cry, to that beg, when I let crude oil go our refinery. Now we don't know, say, if they exist. My God, you do well, sir. You still get another thing where, you know, say, we organic promise during the election. And this matter of Gele support. Gele, they don't ask me, I don't know. I beg, tell us, how far for Gele support?
You know the problem when people get about Gele? Now, because many times our politicians, they talk about that. Now, all those politicians, when Pepe no rest, when they don't lose out of the power game, you know, say, many of them now government, they feed them before. Many, I don't want to call their name now, but I know many of them. They are former this and former that. You know, anybody when they tell you, say, I'm former special advisor, I'm former commissioner.
You see their body?
Yes. If I come up for government today, I'm not going to call myself former anything. I'd be professional journalist. I'd be professional PR man, public relations expert. I'd be branding, advertising. I know we'll say, my name is Crusoe Osagie, former. But some people, not only that former they talk, because they don't get profession, they don't get work, they don't get handwork, they don't get skills. And many of these people, they can't form themselves into association. They call themselves coalition of one thing, coalition
to fight against the grass.
Coalition. Meanwhile, now coalition for the lining of their stomach infrastructure. They are all waiting the pain they be say they are now former. Since they are former, now be say money whatever they hold from government not come again. So how do we let us try and remove the man that is there so that our person can go there and bring us back. That is how can that be the way you live your life? You know, it's very disheartening to find that many of them are even young people. That's how they live their life. So what do? They start looking for all kinds of lies to tell. They'll say, Kenwan Road, they never repair them. This. They'll say Kenwan Road started 10 years ago when Obaseki never even come on government. And so on. So that's the same line that they talk for
this Gele support.
As I'm talking to you, you want to build support, not be like you want to build 3-bedroom flat.
You want to build support, you know, be like you want to build 3-bedroom flat.
Not be the same thing. There are regulatory, provisions that you must fulfill. There are different things when you must do. And all the processes for the setting of that port are ongoing. There were setbacks at one point or the other. During COVID-19, there was a setback and so on and so forth. But the government has not stopped for one day to pursue. As many as they talk so, by Monday, Benin River Post Projects, they are having what we call a public meeting, where they are going to engage stakeholders on the environmental impact when the pot will get on the area where they want to set them up on Monday.
On Monday, yeah. Today now
Tuesday. About less than 1 week from now.
Wow.
They're having a public meeting to that effect. They are following every step that needs to be followed for the setting up of
that seaport.
Of a seaport.
Wow.
So Edo people more are crossing our finger. And not all projects finish in 1 year or 2 years. There are some projects that have to take some time because of all the regulatory requirements that must be met, and also all the funds that are required to do it.
Well, my people, Oga don't answer that one, but we'll continue to see how we fit put things together by the grace of God. Any question?
Somebody asked, what is the plan for Esan land?
Okay.
Esan land. Esan land now the major part of Edo State. A lot of work is going on in Esan land.
Okay.
A lot of roads. You go. I
will contact this morning. Yes, Ojekba, Obiajo, Boha Road.
A lot of work is going on. Edo State now big state. So I mean, a lot of work is going on. I know say one of the major challenges when they stay for that side they feel or they face. Now this Benin Ekpoma Auchi Road.
Yes.
When you don't bad. But I would like to apologize to all of them and tell them that we feel their pains. It's very disheartening that such a thing is happening, but it's beyond our control as a state government. Because that road is a federal government road. And federal government has come out point blank to say that they are no longer going to reimburse any state when spend their resources
to fix their road.
Federal government roads. So if you consider the resources when they are available to states and how scarce resources can be in the country right now, you'll see why a state governor would not want to use
his money,
state money to go and fix a federal road and without any hope of getting that
money back.
Because there are a lot of state roads that also need attention. So we know what they are going through. What we try to do from time to time are to go do palliatives. But to bring out 5 billion and do a federal government road and just walk away, I mean,
not possible.
If we don't finish all the states, all the roads when they for inside the state finish, then maybe we can do that. But no, when there are a lot of roads within the state that need attention.
Wow. My people, any other question?
Somebody asked of one Ewa Bogun road.
Ewa Bogun. Yes, Ewa Bogun has Sapele Road to Sapomba Road. It's a link road.
Okay. Yes, there are some roads that have been done that link Sapele Road, like
which is
PZ Road,
Okabe Road.
Obaseki is doing his best. And there's a lot of roads that serve that same purpose.
Okay.
I don't think within 8 years we can finish all the
roads. That's true.
So a lot of work is being done. A lot of roads are being done. Ewa Bogun Road, I go and check whether it's in the list because we get short list of different roads on we do.
Okay.
Whether it's in the list of recent roads that are to be done. If it is not, our prayer is that we continue to have good governance in it.
Just continue.
That will continue to go on.
Thank you very much, sir. So we thank God for waiting to go on. And I think they find platform you say, ask question. Because the reason a lot of people they throw stone, they throw missile from anywhere because they don't get the right information. But thank God the information that we get. Sir, thank you very much. I will appreciate you. Then this issue of Edo Best. How does this Edo Best, the reform of Edo Best, affect the people directly or indirectly?
Edo Best is the reformation of the next generation of Edo people.
The reformation
of the
next generation of Edo people.
Yes, because if you find out today, there is a limit to the amount of improvement you can bring to the lives of human beings that are already mature and are adults.
Yes.
So people have already learned their way. People have learned to be thieves. It's difficult to change them from their ways. It takes the power of the Holy Spirit to do it. Some people have already learned to be gluttons. They have already learned to be reckless people. People have learned different things. But the thing is, when you want to change the next generation, you go to the child that has not been formed fully yet, and you begin to influence that child's life. When you are able to sufficiently and positively influence the life of that child, then you have essentially changed the future of
that child.
So that's what Edo Best is. Edo Best is targeting basic education. Making sure that the average person who goes to school in Edo gets the best quality education at the basic level. They are exposed to world class technology for teaching.
World class.
Yes, so that not be in those days for our time, they'll say teacher want to do a lesson note.
Yes.
Person when you see the right when you write lesson notes is money. Everybody make a mistake.
Oh, make a mistake.
We when
you go sleep.
Go write one thing we're not supposed to write because it's human beings that are doing it. So there is chance for human error. But when you are in a do best, every teacher has a tab.
Every teacher has a tab.
Yes, the curriculum when they want to teach, everything when they want to teach,
the computer,
everything pre-programmed to their phones, to their tabs. And that tab also is enabled with GPS devices that helps us to know that each teacher is at his duty post.
So with that tab, you feel know whether the teacher did duty post or not.
Yes. So what do you think? What learning outcomes and they try to improve with education? It's not just that so far they teach. No, not so far they teach is not enough.
So far they teach is not enough.
Number one, the teacher must be there. If the teacher is not there, learning cannot happen. So that's why the GPS is there to make sure we are able to monitor that teachers are there. Number two, to be able to learn, you must have the information, the knowledge when you want to pass to the child and be the preloaded lesson.
When they type.
When all these factors mix, then learning outcomes goes up. And children learn more.
Thank you.
So that's why the best is important.
Thank you very much, sir. I know the TGS on media episode will see the lack teachers. I don't know how far.
Yes, a lot of work is being done in that area. Recently, there have been this Edo Star program, where they are getting some sort of interns, teaching interns, and then they will work with them for a few months or so, and then make them permanent teachers. So they train them, give them the requisite skill and knowledge to be able to dispense the responsibility of teaching, and then they will now send them to different schools.
But
one of the challenges that we are having all the time is when we want to recruit these teachers, we always say people from particular communities should apply for those communities.
So they can return back to that community.
Yes, they can live there and work there. Because when you are living in GRA and you apply to go and be a teacher in Orion,
you know
work. But when they tell all these people when they apply those kind of applications, they say, look, Orion, they go teach. If they stay for GRA, not go work. They say, no, I beg, just give me, I need the job. That's all. Don't worry. They won't think about when they don't enter finish, they don't let us rest.
They're not Greek or begin to make noise.
Call us, let's say media, you are very close to the governor, help me. I don't like to go wrong. You say, but when you were being employed, they asked you, they told you that you won't be able to move. So that's why you have these vacuums here and there. So some teachers prefer to be in the city. Most teachers actually. So the question is, who will teach for village? If all of them did. Okay, at point of employment, they tell you, say, look, now village school they employ for
not before city.
Not before city, and you say you go fit. Then give you the job finish and you say you want change school.
Wow, my people, you know why they're happy? Because who no go, no know. When people they say, Obaseki no employ teacher, see, he dey employ. Now you tell us, okay, if not for Orono, by you go employ, maybe somebody from Uwon there make you apply. They no go gree apply you. But who they believe will apply? Go come say, go Orono, you know, gree go. Go Oronibe, you know, gree go. Now soon we will do something. Well, as we continue to go on, we'll be giving our updates on those areas by the grace of God. Sir, we don't go to take your time. I don't say they don't call you, but I beg no vessel. This is the issue of Sapne Road. Our people don't be protest. And we remember where our governor, he go there, he tell them when they fair protest for Ogege Johnson. He said, okay, man, don't worry. I won't hear when he had the minister of that time. So una they play politics with the road. Now he promise. So how far we don't start protesting again because may I join the protest.
Look, I don't blame anybody when they protest for that road because you can't suffer when people they suffer just to move from Benin to Warri. Benin to Warri when you're Sapele when you just be quick dash.
Yes.
It's not too much. So there's only so much a human being can take without responding and reacting. So what you are seeing is that a lot of people are reacting to the pressure they are feeling. So I quite understand their frustration. But now the same matter when we discuss things as we talk about Epoma Road.
Yeah.
That road is a federal government road. The government, there's a limit to how much the government can spend on a road when you not be when you don't say you not go see the money back. You see how?
Yes.
Because if you don't finish all your own roads now, say you have you have you over budgeted, you still have the resources. It will be different matter. But you are grappling with your own roads and trying to make your roads more traceable. The one that is
when they were using our yes. Our own.
And the way that they share money for Nigeria, if 10 naira comes, 6 naira stay for federal government. 40 naira share for the many states. So how you constantly go to help the federal government, they do their road, and they don't already tell you who how.
If you do on your own,
they don't pay back. So that's where the problem is. I know that people will say, no, you're closer, I do. And then the closer I do 5 billion naira project now, 10 billion project. If you closer I do 10 billion project, you go get a net mess. Wow. It's difficult.
Wow. My people, it affects everybody. But I know saying that because of the system, that's why we will continue to do what we fit do to help change the negative narrative about governance in Nigeria. And I thank God for the role we Governor Obaseki play to ensure say everybody enjoy the dividends of democracy. It's not easy, but we'll get there. Before we continue, any question from our people audience?
Somebody just shoot mouth for security.
So, make you answer that one.
Yeah, so security, major issue in Nigeria. Major issue in Nigeria. And the way Nigeria is structured so that the people are unable to respond to security challenges.
So that the people are unable to respond to security challenges.
That's how Nigeria is structured, and it's so annoying. If you are in a country where a state governor cannot direct the police on what to do, or they don't know what to do. He can't. Meanwhile, he's supposed to be the chief security advisor of the state. How does he do the job? Is he going to go by himself into the forest? So that's one of the challenges. Nigeria is defectively structured, and those things have to be changed. The governor who superintends over the state's jurisdiction should have the capacity to direct and tell the
police, the army, the DSS, and
what to do, where to go to, in order to curb insecurity in the country. But it's not so. And then there are several other factors. The socioeconomic factors where they cause today there, because people are poor and hungry and so on and so forth, and have not been educated, and then it becomes easy for them to be radicalized and turned into killers and so on and so forth. So there's that socio-economic aspect as well. Yeah, or somebody is hungry, and because he's hungry, then becomes an easy tool in the hand of somebody who wants to cause more money, they'll go scatter something. So these are the challenges with security in the state. But the state is not resting on its arse. We are doing a lot to ensure that we
tackle those issues.
Hold security in Edo. And I dare say that we are making some headway. We're not there yet. There's still a lot of threats around, but we're making very good strides to improve security.
Okay, you shall city analyze now. School good though. Education will be scam. But thank you very much. And briefly before we go, make another verse. This issue of Binimo, I don't go there, I don't come out. But our people do the raise concern. See how the traffic, how the place will come be after the door open up. Some people want to not carry and go for a job, want to go put out for Luku.
Well, I mean, I understand why you ask such a question.
Yes.
Because you see a big mall.
Yeah.
It's located on a very major tributary.
Yes, sir.
In the state, and then you're worried, will you cause congestion or something so forth. So I quite understand. But you see, like I said before, Obaseki does not do things anyhow. If he has a project of 5 years, he uses 4 years to plan.
And use 1 year to execute.
So that's what they call security impact analysis.
Okay.
Traffic impact analysis. Okay. For that, it has been done. They have analyzed it. They have structured the plan to direct traffic there and ensure that there's no unusual jam there.
Wow.
Of course, without the mall there is traffic jam now.
Yes.
So the question is, how do we
control it?
How do we establish this mall in such a way that we don't exacerbate the current traffic crisis that we already have?
Wow.
So that's the thinking that goes into it. And then the governor thinks through everything.
Wow.
Now only people went on Sabi Amano, and unfortunately, I dare say, quote and unquote, he's not the kind of person that talks too much.
Yeah.
Not they go
Action.
everywhere. Not they go everywhere. Go sit down for here, go they talk. Not for these parties, not for that parlors. He just keeps to himself. But if you have the rare privilege that I have had to work closely with him, you will learn many things. You will learn, say, not be giddy be work, na calculation, na sitting down to think through.
Not be giddy work, na calculation. I hear that
so
one.
That's what is unique about our governor. He's always inside his mind. He's thinking, how do we do this? So for the more he thought about it. So not be when I just suddenly they ask now, sit down. So what impact will this project have on traffic? Wow. What impact will it have on the socio-economic life of the people around
there?
You get my point?
Yeah.
How will it impact the government places here? How and better scientific studies are done.
You don't plan everything.
And scientific solutions are proffered.
I like that one.
So there's not going to be any traffic problems at all because a very extensive security analysis, traffic analysis was done before the project was kicked off.
And 2023, January, by the grace of God, that mall will be commissioned. All of us go there. Finally, no, we don't let your guys go now because every people will need to ask a question. Are they here with that? So, sir, this Nigerian observer, hey, as I read there, I see what happen. Belesh with me. Say this man they really plan for the future. But I also the yes from win, one. Some people say, government don't sack them all, government why who sack them all? What did they happen? No, thank God say you be here as a media advisor, project to governor. Oga this reform will they go for the Nigeria observer. I want to benefit the masses directly or indirectly. So I beg, make you tell our people.
Well, the truth is that observer project now me directly the manager.
Wow,
on behalf of the governor.
Now you
and me governor they use, I mean the diary when governor they use to write that story
for that place
for observer. So I know everything about it.
Okay.
Yes. Now media services and media profession don't evolve, don't change well for us, our society. When we start journalism those days, now facts with the fact story when we come up from head office, we'll fax them. So they wait for facts. So put out the machine. They cut and Pia do the right do story on top. They put out Pia the right Adamawa on top. Pia State House story. They can't give the paper to typesetter. You want the typesetter. They don't they see Google that time.
No.
On a day, if you want to go write analysis, you want to write a very well researched analysis. We go library.
Go research.
You write. You take small people, jot and you write, you research. But now, uncle, everything don't change. Information age, every day. On top of your laptop, you can do any research you want to do, you can analyze anything you want to analyze. So media has changed significantly. So we can observe which was set up almost 70 years ago, 50. So I can't remember. Don't take. You cannot continue to run with old knowledge. So there has to be change. The kinds of printing equipment that are there, the kinds of word processing equipment that are there, the kinds of research equipment that are there, the kinds of information communication technology equipment that are there have to change. And then the ecosystem when one did around down also has to change. Because media has now gone beyond newspaper. Before
media has gone beyond
beyond newspaper. In those days we'll be over for Lagos when I just start my journalism career. We'll be about now. If you want to say anything to the public, you must come to us on television.
Wow.
But now it don't change.
It don't change.
So be waiting with the thing they talk to. Not be
Facebook.
Not be broadcast with the broadcast.
Live.
You not go set up television station. No. Now television station we just do so. So information dissemination has been democratized. Has been liberalized. So we also have to take that into the thinking in setting up that place. So now media city.
Media city.
So because some people think in our newspaper around there's newspaper there. There is online publication there.
Wow.
There is film production there.
Where they produce
it's part of communication.
Wow.
It's part of media. There is content. Production, skits, all these our boys when they do skit, they're all production they go on there. There is a media cafe there where all these people sit down, they gist, drink coffee, drink Coke and Fanta. That you are looking at what? The media. See, Obaseki will not be anybody late.
Wait, Obaseki in media city.
How you dey see for this?
I want to learn journalism.
Obaseki will not be anybody late. Me when the journalist expert, he teach me. He teach me say and they do. And me sure. What when we don't they do for 20-something years? He still teach me some for inside.
Wow. Now people, any question there?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the question we're there now.
We already answered that.
That's a kind of
Aha. So, my people, I did very happy. You know, the reason why negative propaganda they fly, now because say positive propaganda no be fly. So that's the reason why some of us they try to see how we fit take silence negative propaganda for Edo, because Edo must be great. One thing I want to make know say a mega agenda. There is nothing like abandoned project under mega agenda. And anything where government don't start, if they finish am. This one will bring me to the conclusion of the whole matter, which I call the organ matter of them all. Organs are not do well. We see the role where una play, where government play for a kind law, our country can and give federal government, so federal government don't in charge now. But the staff, some of them don't they cry. Some of them will die. Everyone who come here today, also my colleague don't die. So I beg. I don't know the plan when I get for the staff for the form a kind of thoughts.
Yeah, well, you know, some people too stubborn. Okay. That time when government will tell them, say, see my plan, we want the federal government to take over this institution. In those days when they grow, they come. People they happy and say, my institution are federal institution. The more federal institutions we have in Edo State, the more federal presence we have here. So it's in our best interest as a state to have that additional institution, additional federal government institution in Edo State. We have the Auchi, Federal Polytechnic Auchi. Yeah. We have the University of Benin, Benin City. We should also have a College of Education that is federal. It helps our state. It means the money is coming straight from Abuja, not from here into the state. So government can say that is the future of that place. Meanwhile, people went there for Ikadolo, see the new direction. Abudu, we are moving a state College of Education now to Abudu, and then the other one for Igwebe. You know, so now move your services to those places. Then begin revolt.
Then begin
revolt. I can remember during the elections, some of them, not be all, some of them were genuinely protesting. But many of them go collect money from opposition. They come they dance for front of government house, thinking say all those wayo blackmail will make us lose election. But by the grace of God, we still won the election. You know, even though they were trying to embarrass us. Simply why? Because government just say, you know what, this don't be here you day again. God, go outside, maybe they credit you now, maybe they put you now for the roles.
They say no.
They say no. They say that they must stay.
Because they call their placenta for them.
Yeah. So now, you're going to work for UAC, maybe you collect salary for John Wood.
You know what?
You know what? So many of the problem when they get was self-inflicted.
Self-inflicted.
Yes, they didn't listen. You know, they didn't, and some of them allowed political leaders to push their hand. So all those politicians, politicians are very tricky. Yeah. Because they say, it's Kadolo, now they here. Now not go protest. I say, give them money. We're not go state government, we're not shut them down. If they shut us down, we just pass corner and say, since we're not listening to the president, we're not stay one of them. So that's how many of them ended up in that situation. I'm sure that there are a few who didn't participate in those things. They don't life with this. But the truth is, the opportunity was created for them to move their services to Abuja.
Wow.
Still on that, there's a concern. Some pensioners from Ekadolo who claim they have retired even before this whole issue came are complaining that they are still being affected.
Okay. If they are retired, they should have been under the Ministry of Education. Okay. But that seems like a unique, new dimension to it. So thank you for that question. I will take that to the Accountant General, and find out what is the provisions for pension for people when don't retire from the law long before this became a federal institution. Did the federal government inherit them? the state government take them into it. So I'll find that out and we'll come back to it.
Great. Edo must move forward. Indeed, Edo is really moving forward. One more question so that...
the last question.
Okay.
The protest. He said there's a protest currently going on in some part of for
color code.
Color code.
Okay. You see, Nigerians, we have to be wise. We have to be smart. We're in exceptional times. So exceptional measures have to be taken place. We've now listened recently to government talking want to
identify for everybody. Let them know who did the state.
Not be normal times like this. So in those days, it be not hard. Somebody if you all wake up today, you say I go in Lorraine and then I want to go to stay now.
Not get problem.
But today it don't different. You know? People carry gun, machine gun, enter church for Ondo or
what? Finish people.
Some of those people sit down and drink and carry somewhere yesterday night. Some of them maybe chop corn for someone corn station, but they go. If to say would they know who they be, if not they as difficult, if they more difficult for them to carry out
that attack.
And because they know say nobody know them. So everybody coming to the state, we want to make sure we can identify them. If you say you be bus driver and you can't register your bus,
we want to know you.
If you say you be Yaris driver and good, we want to know you, register that Yaris and put a color on it. So you know if you use and do kurukere, we'll know where you come from. So it's part of efforts to ensure that we live in a safe society. That's why we're doing all this.
Wow. So guys, information is the key. Why are they protest? Because of color code. Whether I like them or not, we must identify Una. Una must go right to that name. Una must register that motto. We want to fight. Even some of them never depend motto again. Una never remove plate number. So by the time I commit crime, we know if we catch Una. But Edo is no longer as it used to be. Edo is moving forward. And if you're not ready to take change, follow what it is born. Let me say, you will relocate. But once when I know say, Edo must be great. My brothers and sisters in diaspora, when it's got big all of Una, make Una they try to get the right information about governance in Edo. Remember, Edo can never be great if there is no peace. That's the reason we will continue to be clamor for peace. No throw me that come Edo because you don't like the man who they did there. No throw me that. I beg, we need peace so that Edo can become great again. Whether you like it or not, Edo is moving forward. Final word from our guy to our people.
My final word to Edo people are this one. Go and verify. Not talk say special advisor media. Those state don't talk. I believe, not believe.
Go verify.
If you there for abroad, send your sister, come meet apostle. So you understand? Say that your sister you send. All those things when special advisor talk, we want to go see them. I go come out from my office, go show you them, or same person follow you. Now me they tell you na so. So don't just take it. Don't take my words for it. Go and
verify. So God bless you guys. One thing, continue to pray for your governor, pray for the state. Edo is moving forward. Thank you very much. My name is Apostle Alfred Odioinusa. The man with the talker and the door on the show as it be. God bless you.
Now we don't hear from Apostle Alfred Uyinosa and SA on Media Project. Let us know what you think for comment section. If you never subscribe to Dan ARG YouTube, try make you subscribe so that make you fully hear all the things where they happen for Nigeria. Make I leave you with this video, make you help us share on. Thank you for watching Dan ARG YouTube.